Hi everyone. I'm going to deal pretty briefly here with APA style in-text citations, title page, and references. So this should be Monday, April 6th, and you have your 2 pages of summary of your journal article that you chose last week. You've gotten yourself very familiar with the journal article, and now we have to apply some APA style to it. So let's start with general format. So if you have got a pencil or a pen, I want you to jot down these few things. For APA style, you need to use Times New Roman 12-point font. 12-point font, Times New Roman, double spaced. So that's throughout the paper. You also use 1-inch margins. Generally speaking, all of the Word documents kind of default to 1-inch margins. You will indent, tab in one time, tab in once for the start of new paragraphs. Don't put any extra lines in between paragraphs. It should just be the double spacing. Sometimes people end up quadruple spacing, but that's going to result in some points out because remember, we only have a 2-page paper, so just use double space. Okay, so those were the general formatting rules that you need to know. And basically, I'm going to let you use these. This is on our D2L under Monday, April 6th. I have some models, we'll say, for you to use in order to create your own title page, to learn a little bit more about paraphrasing, to create your own in-text citations, and to make your reference. Your reference page is the last page. It should be page number 4, or maybe if you went over a couple sentences on your summary, it will be page number 5. Reference page has to be its own page. Okay, so in brief, before you look at these too closely and start to make your own, I'll point out a few things in each one. Here's the sample title page. When you click on it, it'll come up. This is the 7th edition, so if you scroll down a bit, you'll notice it's a student title page, so it looks a little bit different from the way the 6th edition did in the past. So there's a student version and a professional version. As you go along with your studies in psychology, your college work, you may very well end up using the professional version, but for our paper, the student version is totally fine. You'll notice perhaps that we don't have anything in the running head other than the page number. Another change from the 2nd or the 6th edition is that the paper title is now in bold. And actually, here's a little breaking of the rule. They have 3 spaces here, or more than double space, between the title and the author. This author is you. Your name would go here, student name here. And then it goes on with affiliation, the course number, etc. So our paper due date is, April 6th. So if April 6th, wait a minute, pardon me, April 13th, I have to look at my adjusted dates. April 13th is what will go right here. So you will follow this and create the title page. It is its own page. Okay, so now I'm going back. The start of the 2nd page, which is the start actually of the body of your paper, I don't have a sample here. Maybe by the time we get to this day, actually, I'll be able to put up a sample paper. But the top of the 2nd page will again have the page number. It would be page number 2. And you repeat in bold, just like it was on the title page, the title of your paper. So there's no abstract. Remember, I told you that in the past. So you will center, bolded the title again at the top of the paper, not in the header, but just at the top of the paper. You'll hit return and left justified, no longer centered, just the title centered, and start the body of your paper. You tab in once to do a start of a new paragraph and start typing. Okay, so now you're in the body of the 2 pages, the summary of your paper. And you're going to be doing paraphrasing. So there are no direct quotes in this paper, or very, very few. I provided a link here to what is paraphrasing. In brief, paraphrasing is taking the words from the journal article, considering them yourself, using new words to communicate the same idea or similar idea, and writing that in your journal or in your paper as a representation of the journal article. So it's a summary. A paraphrase is a summary in your own words. But when you do that, you need to give credit to the journal article with an in-text citation. This is an example of an in-text citation here. So when you read through this part, it will give you more information. If you are paraphrasing, you do not have to have page numbers. In this particular example, they do have it, but they are not required. If you have a direct quote, which I have told you to either eliminate or severely minimize, you do have to have page numbers. Direct quotes will up your originality report. You're allowed 15% for your originality report. So you want to keep this highly original. It's only 2 pages. All right, this goes on and tells you more about how to paraphrase in an APA style paper. So I have that link for you to read. The next link that I have for you is a little bit more on how to do the in-text citations. Sometimes people ask me about doing in-text citations. Oh, I don't know why this one, I'll fix this one. It should give you some examples here. So in-text citations, you'll have the author name and then the publication date. Oh, there, it came up now. It just wasn't finished coming up. Author name, comma, year of publication, those within parentheses, and then a period. Or they'll tell you how to do a narrative citation, which is a little bit different. So either of these two styles is fine. Sometimes students ask me how many citations to have in text citations. I look for a minimum of 4. A lot of times you're going to have more than that. But every time you're using the idea from the author of the journal article, you're supposed to give credit there. But sometimes it goes a little bit long. It might be the whole paragraph summarizing the ideas from the journal article. So if early in the paragraph you have an in-text citation, and then perhaps towards the end of the paragraph, that helps me know that all of that information was paraphrased from the journal article. So those are a few tips that I use with in-text citations. The last link that I have here for you is for your references. So this is a quick reference guide. It's how to do the reference for the journal article. You can pull up this page or download it, and you might be able to see these words. They might be a little bit small. This is a book one on the second half. You really don't need that one. You need this journal article piece. So let me tell you the general setup of a references page is that, again, it will have the page number in the upper right-hand corner. It will have the title references, not in-text citation, or excuse me, not works cited, which a lot of people are used to using from MLA style, but references is what APA style uses. You're going to have that centered in bold at the top of your paper, not in the header, but at the top of the paper. And then you would come down into the body of the paper, and you'll use a hanging indent to put in your first reference. Now, probably that's the only reference that you have because I'm only requiring one. If you happen to have more than one, you will have to alphabetize by last name. So if we take a look at this reference right here, you'll notice it has what's called a hanging indent. That means the first line is left justified. The second line is tabbed in one. Sometimes this can be a little bit tricky for people if you want to Google how to do that, or you want to call me or talk with a podmate about how to do that. That all is very good. You want to try and get that right. Okay, so these are the things I need you to be working on today. And please feel free to contact me during the time of our class period. I will be available to answer your questions and try and help lead you through any of this. And we're going to be getting this APA style onto your paper and get it ready for our next class, which we will have a peer review of your research paper. Okay, thank you very much.